is when I start to do this, and I feel like his knee rotates outwards too much. Like, and I feel like I'm losing the angle for this ankle lock. When this happens right here, that's when my butterfly hook goes in, but then we go aoki. I just shuck his leg away, so his heel is right on my chest right now. So before it was like out a little bit, now it's all the way out. And when this happens, so there's a few ways we can finish this. If I just want a really good finish, I'm gonna go as deep as I can with my right arm like this. So the idea with this is like this should be similar mechanics to a heel hook. I'm putting pressure on his heel. So I'm, like we talked about, I'm rotating the shin one way, then with my own leg, I'm applying pressure on the outside of his knee. So we're getting that same kind of effect. And then I can arch my spine and we get our aoki lock. So when I feel when I'm going for this, and I feel his leg starts to rotate outwards, I'll make space and I'll put my butterfly hook in, just like this. So I like to keep this figure four. The reason being is if he gets on his right hip and then sticks the leg back in, like now I'm back in my ankle lock. I don't have to make any grip adjustments, just go back a second. Like that's how a lot of people defend. Versus if I do this and he sticks the leg back in, I don't like have tension with my hands. Like my hands are kind of in good place with the initial one to kind of do it, but it's a little bit less tight. But if I'm just here, I can grab and I just arch myself like this, and that's my finish. If I want to keep the figure four, that's okay too, but what's important is that I'm applying torque on his heel in this direction, and then I'm rotating his knee the other direction. So his heel is being lifted towards the sky as my right knee starts to rotate inwards. So the second reaction is as we're going for this, if he starts to rotate his knee all the way this way. This is pretty common. Now I start to lose tension on the leg. When this happens, my toes go to the mat, my other leg comes over, and I come all the way up to this position right here. So my forehead's on the mat, my ankles are crossed, and my chest is off the ground. Now all I'm gonna do is I widen my knees and I drop my chest all the way down to the mat, and we have a belly down finish right here. My favorite attack in this position is like ankle locks / aoki lock. So if you guys know Mateusz Szczecinski, like he kind of inspired the way I do this position. He's very, very good at it. So we pass the leg to the outside, knee comes to the inside, and we end up right here, just like this. So there's a few ways I set this up. Basically what I'm looking to do is I'm looking to get this foot in a position where it's not all the way in my belly. This is more an aoki lock, where it's kind of like the side of his heel is like right on the side of my belly. So that this entire part of his foot is like pinned against the side of my ribs and my lat, just like this. So in order to do that, we can use a few options right here. So it really depends on what he's doing with his knee in this case. So one grip I like to use is I like to bring my knee to the inside, just like this. So I really like this position. So in this spot, I have my left foot on the belly and my right knee to the inside. And one of the reasons I like this is very, very safe for my legs. It's nearly impossible for him to leg lock me here, but also it gives me a lot of opportunities to transition to attacks on this leg, just like this. So I'm gonna pass my knee inside, I'm gonna switch to a figure four. So I'm letting go of this leg. This hand is gonna grab close to his knee, and when I lock this figure four, I'm right like on the shin, and then my other hand has to go by my wrist. So I'm not doing like bicep deep, I'm doing like shallow. So this hand is going close to the wrist, and I start to use this to make a little bit of space, to shuck his leg away. You guys all see that? So now I'm starting to get his foot in that position. And once I feel the foot comes in that position, my knee comes out, and I put this butterfly hook in right here. So I have the foot on the belly, and I have my right foot just stepping on my own calf like this. So I have this butterfly hook, and now I shuck the leg away until I feel like his foot is just about to pop out. So I have his like big toe is like in my armpit, the heel is just on my belly, and I have this figure four like this. And I'm really, really tight in my positioning. So when he goes to rotate his knee or anything right here, it's pretty controlled. And now when I go to finish, I'm driving my knee in, and I start to arch my hips.